Hello YouTube. Now I know I said I'd get this up sooner, but I had a few issues using the Deer Hunters and Trappers hide tanning formula that took me longer to complete this pelt than I would have liked. After I shot the last video for you guys telling you that I was going to start the tanning process, I followed the instructions on the Deer Hunters and Trappers hide tanning formula. Got my coyote laid out here, put on nylon gloves, and rubbed the tanning formula in really good. Okay, a thin layer of it rubbed in very well. And as per instructions, I folded the pelt over on itself, hide side down, just like so. Basically made an envelope so I contained everything on the inside so that it could work. After 24 hours, actually more like about 18, only supposed to take 16, I opened her up and left her to sit. Now, per the instructions on this bottle, it says to then allow the hide to dry over a period of up to 72 hours. Okay, well, I did that. The problem was that according to the bottle, after 72 hours or so, you're supposed to be able to start softening this hide up. You're supposed to be able to start breaking it in and getting it to its final stage. However, what I found is that this stuff is a sticky, gooey mess, okay? It wasn't drying. I laid it out in the sun. I put it up high in the house where, in a lofted part of the house to where heat would get to it and a lot of free moving air. But this stuff stayed sticky and it stayed gunky and it stayed tacky, okay? Now, that's fine and dandy, but nowhere in the instructions does it say anything about this product remaining sticky or gross or tacky. So basically, I was looking at either trying to rewash the hide and get all that crap off or something, but it had to come off. And according to the bottle, that's not a part of the process. I shouldn't have to do that. And I put it on very thin, thick enough to make sure that it done the job, but thin enough that I didn't have standing pools or puddles on my hide. So it wasn't that I used too much, but it just never quite would dry. It was always tacky and sticky. And when I went to try to break my hide, I had issues with the fact that it was just a nasty sticky mess. Anyway, what I ended up doing, guys, was I just took the hide the way it is now, this morning, in fact, and grabbed my Mora, and I re-scraped this entire hide again to remove that crap off of the hide. Now let me show you here. This is the crap that this turns into once it's set on the hide. And as you can see, that's just a mess. There's no way that I can break this hide with this on it. So, what I ended up doing, like I said, was I took my Mora Carbon and re-scraped the entire hide. And this is only a small portion of what come off. Okay, there was quite a bit more, at least 2 more lumps of the stuff this size that I had to remove. Once I got that removed, I was able to start breaking my hide, and I didn't bring it out here with me, but like I said, I used a sanding pad, basically a medium grit sanding pad on a cordless drill to go over the hide and to soften it to the extent that it is now. Now, I may take some neat's foot oil and go over this. I looked right at neat's foot oil today, but didn't end up buying any. However, as you can see, this is the final product. She's nice and supple. Not as nice as a professionally tanned hide from a furrier or anything like that, because they use an alum solution and they have hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of machinery to break their hides, and that's why they come out the color that they do and the consistency that they do. But as far as for my purposes, this is only a wall hanger anyway, and as you can see, she's nice and pliable, and the fur is set really, really well. What I did to figure out how well my fur was actually set is I took her and I tossed her in my dryer on the tumble setting for half an hour with no heat. Now, if she were dropping fur, my lint trap would have been full of it. However, this is what I come up with. You see this little bitty clump here? This is all the hair that came off of this pelt, and most of that was perimeter hair. The loose ones at the very edges. That's what this is. So the hair on this pelt is set very, very well. She's not losing any, which tells me that this is going to be a nice piece to have around for many, many years. I had to work really hard to even get that out of my lint trap, and I'm sitting here just using my hands to scrape the lint trap as good as I could to even come up with a clump that size. So, my fur set very, very well. This is a finished product. Now, I told my wife that I can trim this animal, this pelt, and make it symmetrical and make it pretty, but she decided she didn't like that idea. She wants it left as it is. You know, during the processing of this pelt, I have a lot more leg on this side than I do on this side because it tore, and I just went ahead and took it off. And I figured I would just trim all this out and make it symmetrical anyway. But she says, well, for our purposes, it's just a wall hanger. I like the way it looks now. I don't want it to be all pretty and symmetrical. So, this is what we got. Now, I haven't even brushed this girl out. The fur will just fall the way it falls on the animal. You know how, like, you pet a dog and you run your hand up and down their back, whatever, and you get their fur out of alignment and they don't like that, and so they'll shake off and it resets the fur. Well, this fur is the same way. It's just going to flow the way it naturally flows. I can rub it up this way and then kind of raise the hackles and get the fur going the wrong direction, but all I got to do is this and it's right back. Okay, so this is our wall hanger, and she is a finished animal. Now, guys, when I tanned my raccoon, I used egg tanning for that. I didn't have all the problems that I had with this. Of course, using the egg yolks as the tanning for the coon, I ended up rewashing the coon and washing all the egg yolk off after the tanning process before I then started another drying process on it before it got to the point where I could start working the hide and softening it up. But as you could see in the other video, my raccoon, the color of the hide is completely different on the underside of the pelt. But then again, that coon's probably 4 years old now. But this come out a different color. I'm pretty happy with it. Although I think the next time I'm going to try an alum style tan. I think that maybe alum will work better for me as far as tanning goes, because modern tanning companies now, when you send your hides in and you have them professionally done, when their tanning process is pickling, they use alum and salt. Okay, so that allows them to be able to get these pelts really, really clean, and they come out very, very consistent because of the alum and the salt, the pickling process, the washing process, and the machines that they use to break the hide. Okay, so if you're doing a tanning like I am, and you're doing this at home on your own, this is more of what you're going to end up with. You buy a tanned hide anywhere off of Amazon or whatever, what you tan at home is not going to look like what you buy that is professionally tanned, okay? First off, you've got to realize that what you get when you order a hide professionally tanned from a service is not going to be what you end up with when you do it yourself. However, like I said, it's a beautiful animal. She was a pretty girl, despite the fact that her fur was not prime. It's still a nice pelt. I still like the colors. Wish she had a little more red. But anyway, thanks a lot for watching the video, guys. I'm sorry it took me a while to get it out to you, the follow-up that is, because I let this stuff set. It was supposed to be 72 hours. I ended up letting it set for 4.5, 5 days, I believe it was. And when I decided, okay, it's staying sticky, I got to do something else. This stuff is just not going to dry. And I had to end up scraping it finally this morning and, remove the ball of goop. But anyway, thanks a lot for watching the video, guys. If you have any questions or comments, drop those down below. Don't forget, if you have not, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and select all notifications so that you are notified when I upload future videos. If you liked the video, thumbs up, guys. Please hit that thumbs up button for me, because it does a lot good for the channel. And if you don't like the video, thumbs down, because you know what? Truth of the matter is, if you don't like the video, thumbs down still helps the channel. Okay? You may not like it, but the next guy might. Alright, thanks a lot, guys. I'll talk to you later and get another video out as soon as I can.